Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Tim from the NBAA. We are getting ready to kick off our fall Enduro season for 2024, and our first race is going to be at Sunrise Ski Resort. Lots of fun things happening up there, everything from the trails to the new mountain coaster, and it's going to be a really fun weekend. So I wanted to run through some of the details of the race, talk to the course, and then we'll get you guys out of here and into the weekend. So first off, big thanks to Pivot Cycles, who are our presenting sponsor for the series. They give us a lot of financial support and allow us to essentially use more of the money from race registrations, merchandise, membership, and put that back into the trails. So big thanks to Pivot for their years and years of financial support to the NBAA. Also thanks to Stillwell Performance. They're going to be our title sponsor for the Sunrise race. And Corey will be out there this weekend if you have questions about your suspension. Otherwise, they're down in Scottsdale if you need your bike tuned up. Thanks to Sunrise Ski Resort for having us again. This is, I can't even count how many Enduros this is. Maybe 2016 or 17 might have been our first one. And a lot of work has gone into getting the trails ready over many, many years. For those that have ridden this year, you've probably noticed a big step up in more trails, more berms, more jumps, and that is in large part thanks to both Brian Zonker of Sunrise, who's been an instrumental part of allowing these races to kind of take shape and move forward over the last few years. And then a big thank you to Colby Landon, who's been doing just a ton of work up there, in addition to Chris Johnson and Tonto Gravity Riders, digging, running the dozer, putting in new trails. Colby has been doing tons of berm work and dirt jumps, and there's a new skills jump park kind of at the front of the Sunrise base area down by the parking lot with some really sweet jumps. All of the trails have been worked over, and new lines have been put in or kind of cut out from trees and other sections. Like I said, berms, jumps, all kinds of good stuff happening at Sunrise. So big thanks to those three guys, Brian, Chris, and Colby, and amongst others who've volunteered. But those guys have essentially spent the whole summer working on the trails. And for those who have been up there, you guys know how sweet it's getting up there. So let's run through the course and a couple of changes for this year. So we will be using the ankle bracelets this year. It's the Zone 4 equipment. And so you'll be able to pick up your number plate and all that on Saturday between 3 and 4 if you want to grab your number. And then on Sunday, race will start at 8:30. We have a number of different start times for each wave. So you will pick up your ankle bracelet on Sunday morning. This way you don't lose it on Saturday or just forget to bring it. So on Sunday, you're going to check in at the base, at the NBAA tent, just like the last couple years. Check in before you head out at your specific start time. But this year, we're going to hand you the ankle bracelet, stick it on your left ankle, and then you can jump on the chair and start heading up to your first stage. So we'll run through the stages and then the start order here. So we've got 4 top to bottom stages this year, which is super sweet, not having to break it up with a couple shorter stages. That also means that we have a lot more users on the chair lift because we don't have really much of a transfer. There is a transfer to stage 1, but really not much more than that. So there are going to be some long lift lines, but the trade-off is you get top to bottom runs, and you can on Saturday be doing laps top to bottom versus having to work on the shorter stages and whatnot. So stage 1 is going to be you'll take the lift to the top, take straight off the lift, go past the sticks and stones. That would be stage 2. You're going to go past that and continue up to Dirt Squirrel. So that was last year. We had Raw 1 and Raw 2. Some of the trails have kind of been adopted into real names now. So Dirt Squirrel down to Loma Zoma, and that's going to be stage 1. Then you'll get spit out at the Cyclone base, and you'll just pedal through the parking lot back around to Sunrise base. We'll have some pin flags and things out there, some signs. We don't want you to drop in on any of the trails from the bottom of Cyclone, because those will be used for the other stages. So we do ask that when you're finished with stage 1, you just cruise around through the parking lot, and that'll loop you back to the Sunrise base. You can jump on the lift and head back up to stage 2. That's going to be a doozy of a run. Sticks and stones to World Cup to Midway, and then you'll just continue right on down under the lift line. There's a bunch of new jumps down there. There are some gap jumps, so be sure to kind of check out the jumps before you hit them, or get towed in with someone who's familiar with them so you can get the right speed and you don't case it and bust your wheel and then end up having a bad day. So check out the jumps before you hit them full speed. And so stage 2, sticks and stones, down to World Cup, down to Midway. That's where some of the gap jumps and things are, under the lift line. And then you'll duck over to East Ridge, which has the big rock rolls and big rock gardens and things. And then Aspen Alley, and then you'll finish with Technical, which is kind of the big spectator-friendly rock roll towards the very bottom. Then stage 3, you'll jump back on the lift, head back up, and you'll be doing chutes and ladders. So to get to chutes and ladders, you'll get off the chair, you'll turn right like you're going down to Fungus, which will be the last stage, and you just keep going down the ski run to the start of chutes and ladders. That's been totally buffed out and is super, super fun right now. So chutes and ladders take you down the project, and then you'll finish kind of underneath the chair on Fuff. That's a really fun little section. And then stage 4, you'll jump back on the chair, head to the top, and that'll be Fungus. So exit the chair, turn right, and you just go 100 yards or so, 200 yards, and Fungus will be on your left. You'll drop in Fungus, and then about halfway down, once you get through the upper Fungus section, we're going to turn on to Identity Crisis, which is kind of a flow jump trail. And then you'll get spit out and you'll finish on Pinedale down to the bottom. So lots of variety, everything from raw stuff to berms to jumps. So it's going to be super fun. We have our 10 to 12 in our beginner categories, so both men and women. You guys will just be doing stages 3 and stages 4. So a little bit less of the tech from stages 1 and 2, and you guys will be starting in that order. So just stage 3 and then stage 4. Everybody else, you do need to start in succession. So we're putting everyone on stage 1, and then on stage 2, 3, and 4. Even if we broke it up and split half into stage 1 and 2, and then half into 3 and 4, everyone's funneling back to the base, to the chairlift. So this way we can kind of keep track of everyone and make sure, okay, everyone's cleared with stage 1. We can check the course, make sure there's not anybody laying down there. Everyone's accounted for, and then move on to the other stages. So start times for those stages, we'll start at 8:30 on Sunday. This will serve as our riders meeting. So if you are one of the later stages going off, like let's say you're amateur men, you don't have to show up till 9:45. So sleep in, have everything ready so you are ready to go at 9:45, and you'll come to the base, check in, and then jump on the chair. I will also say, as most of you know, you do need a lift pass for any of the days that you're going to ride. So if you're just going to show up Sunday, you go grab a lift pass for Sunday only. If you want to ride Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can buy a 3-day pass in the guest services in the Sunrise Lodge. Second floor is guest services. And that's where you can also pay for your camping. It's $30 for the whole weekend, and you'll be able to camp right in the upper parking lot there at the Sunrise base. We'll have bathrooms. And then food is going to be the Sunrise Lodge, the Crown Dancer Cafe, both at the bottom. At the top of the resort, at the top of the chair, is the Eagle's Nest Cafe, and that will be open as well. And then after the kind of like that 4 o'clock, when the lifts shut down, lifts will shut down at 4, and the food and kind of gets wrapped up on Saturday. And then the pub will be open down at the hotel if you want to get dinner down there. So let's run through the start times. We're going to start with our e-bike category at 8:30. And again, you guys will check in at the base, jump on the chair, and then head out to stage 1. Then at 8:35, we'll start with our expert men. So again, just come down to the check-in. You'll grab your ankle bracelet, put it on your left leg, left ankle, and then head up. We don't necessarily have a specific order for you to start within the expert category because this allows, if you want to ride with your buddies, if we were to just go alphabetical order, then you get split up. So you can use your best judgment as far as starting. Essentially, with this timing system, you're going to be able to start as soon as you roll up. But we're gonna, if there's a line or if there's multiple people, we'll count you down so that you have a 30-second break between the rider in front of you. But then the ankle bracelet will pick up your start and your finish instead of lugging computers and things out there. This is a little bit slimmer system, and then the ankle bracelet will essentially have your timing attached to it. So when you get down to the base, you'll be able to check results, and that's a little bit lighter load for us as far as having to lug computers up and down the mountain and that kind of thing. So 8:35 expert men, 8:45 is going to be our beginners, men and women, and 10 and 12. So beginner, both men and women, and 10 and 12, boys and girls. You guys will start at 8:45. Expert women, if you want to go with the expert men at 8:35, you can, but we typically just kind of lump all the ladies together so you guys can kind of cruise your day, even if you're masters women, amateur women, expert women, just so you can kind of all ride together, since our ladies categories tend to be a little bit smaller. And so we have all the ladies starting further down in the day, but if you are, say, an expert woman and you want to go with the expert men, that's totally fine. So beginners, you're only doing stages 3 and 4. You'll go off at 8:45, and you won't have any traffic because the other people before you are going up to a different stage. And then 8:50 will be our U21, so that's our 17 to 20 boys. 9 o'clock, youth boys, 13, 14, and 15, 16. You guys will check in at 9. You don't have to be at the stage at 9. You'll check in at 9 o'clock and then jump on the chair. 9:10, we'll send off all our ladies. 9:30 will be our masters men. So we've got a little bit of a break in there so that we can make sure everyone's getting going. And then 9:45 will be our amateur men. And remember, we're going to have some long lift lines this year because we don't have the transfers between the stages. But the benefit is we're doing full top to bottom stages, and we're not making you just ride up the whole mountain when you could just jump on the chair. So we know, it is enduro, so we want to have a little bit of pedaling and a little bit more of a endurance component versus just being strict downhill. But this is the only race that we can utilize chairlifts for, so we might as well do it. And there is a new RFID system in the resort, so that you can just essentially walk on. That most of you probably seen at other resorts, have the tag in your pocket, scan, walk through the turnstile, and then get on the chair. Last year they put in the roller tray so we can fit 3 bikes on at a time, every other chair, boom, 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 and you're off and going. So for those that have been doing the enduros or ridden up at Sunrise, from back in the early 2000s, you know the progress that they've made, and it's pretty awesome to have a ski resort like that doing mountain biking for us so close here in Arizona. So that's just about everything I have for you. There's a new mountain coaster, like I said, so if you're bringing the family, there's the mountain coaster, there's the zip line, lots of fun stuff, hiking and all kinds of good stuff going on around Sunrise. If you are taking an RV or you want hookups, you can park your camper down by the general store, and if you go in the general store, you can buy a pass to camp in the hookup spots kind of at the front of Sunrise. So if you have questions, you can shoot us an email, info@mbaa.net, and we hope to see everyone out there. It's going to be a really great weekend. Weather looks awesome in the 70s. Great camping weather, cooling off a little into the maybe the upper 40s and 50s. But looking forward to another great weekend. Thanks everyone for supporting the MBAA. Your registrations, your entry fees, when you buy t-shirts, when you give us a donation, all of that money, once we cover our operating costs to put on the events, it's all going back to the trails and building new trails, improving the trails that are already in existence. And so both from us, the NBAA, and the other organizations that we give money to in grants, thank you very much for supporting us and supporting mountain biking in Arizona. So hopefully you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.